Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bob's Corner, episode 8. Today, we are going to speak about when the darkness hits. When the darkness hits. First and foremost, you know what we got to do? We got to give ourselves a round of applause for being here. We got to give ourselves a round of applause for showing up. Give ourselves a round of applause for making it another week. I want to thank everybody for showing up here tonight. I want to thank you all for your continued love and support. A little bit under the weather now, but we're going to continue to work through that. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Definitely had a happy Thanksgiving. I was able to enjoy time with my family. I had all my kids together, man. Spent time with my wife and my family. It was a beautiful time, man. Got a nephew on the way, so shout out to my in-laws. Definitely excited for you guys. Excited for the new journey. Excited to be celebrating life for a change. Instead of celebrating the deceased loved one, which these times unfortunately definitely bring those thoughts about. So tonight, want to definitely dive into some things when it comes to seasonal depression and seasonal anxiety, seasonal grief, and what that does to the mind and what that does to the body and the spirit. Um, we have recently had a bit of a snowstorm here. I'm here in Cincinnati, Ohio, so we had a bit of a snowstorm here. Uh, Snowed maybe about 4 to 5 inches, depending on where you were. But also, what accompanies that is the gray skies that come along with the snowstorms, and it's for me, man. It's like I'm living in a bubble. Like I'm already dealing with you know the time change, and I'm dealing with dates of losing deceased loved ones around this time. And when you couple that with the gray skies that you just see, that overcast that you just see all day, it's just like you stuck in a bubble. Like sometimes it feel like time just is still. Like it's like I'm not really in a real place. And for a lot of people that those gray skies can create a realm of depression, a realm of looking within and measuring yourself against the world around you. You're looking at vacation photos of people, and you're looking at people celebrating the holidays with loved ones and sharing those times with loved ones. And being that Thanksgiving just passed, is a major holiday for a lot of people. It's a major family holiday, to be exact. And for me, though I was able to spend time with family that I have that's alive now, I've also have moments where I kind of blank out, and I'll think about my family that isn't here. I'll think about, like, wow, I wish my mother could be here, and wonder how her cooking may be, or what dish will she be preparing for this function here. What energy would she bring to the function? I never got a chance to see my mother in the light of being an adult. I never got to see my mother parent. I never got to see her parenting style. I never got to see her what her favorite dish was to cook. I never saw that. I don't to this day I couldn't tell you what my mother's favorite food is. So Thanksgiving being the family holiday that it is, that's really a time where I miss those moments and feel like I missed out, and I'm unable to experience those things. And with the days being shorter now, and the darkness coming so quick, it's like I gotta dream and wake up all over again. And I'm praying that my dreams are good ones, where I can reach out and touch some of my loved ones. That's like the only time where I can actually feel them anymore is when I'm inside of a dream. But in those dreams, they always seem to just leave without saying goodbye. It's always like an Irish goodbye. Like I'll look around and they'll just be gone. They never say goodbye. They never say I'll be back. They never say I'll see you later. They just leave. And sometimes I wonder, you know, what that's about. Like, what does that mean? Shout out to everybody that's dealing with losing a loved one right now. And if this weather does trigger you in any way, I certainly understand, and I'm certainly here with you through those times. I know I'm not the only person who's lost a parent, who's lost a brother, who's lost a loved one during these times of year. And when you combine that with the expectation to celebrate, the expectation to be joyful around this time of year, it becomes kind of difficult. Your expectation is to show up and be jolly, but you may not understand why. Like Christmas is coming up. I'm hearing the bells, I'm seeing the commercials and the movies and stuff are on. It's like when people ask you like, "Hey, what do you want for Christmas?" You're just like, "I don't want anything. I don't need anything." You tell people you don't need anything. You can have everything it is that you want in this world, but to me, the spirit of giving and the spirit of receiving as well for Christmas is what makes this time of year such a beautiful thing. So when you telling people like, "Oh, I don't need anything," check in with yourself because that may be something you're deflecting. That could be an underlying issue of of a sense of abandonment, a sense of resentment, a sense of loneliness that you trying to help yourself cope through something that you can't really identify. You may be going through something internally and not even know. I've been there before, and currently I'm kind of there now, really. If I'm being honest with you, when it comes to Christmas, I'm usually looking to give more so than receive. I have gotten better. I used to say like, "Oh, I don't want anything. You don't have to give me anything." But I actually like to receive gifts around Christmas time. Like it makes me feel good that people are around me still that love me and that want to see me happy. So they get me gifts, and I like putting a smile on their face as well, and giving those gifts. So if you are a person that's, you know, kind of, and like I said, I'm like that myself, where I'm a oh I don't need anything kind of person. But if that is you, it's okay to accept a gift. It's okay to receive love around this time. It's okay to look forward to celebrating the holidays. Like it's okay to do that. There's nothing wrong with celebrating and being celebrated. So these times of year, like I said, I was riding home today and I was just looking around. I'm like, man, all the skies are just so gray. You got gray, and then it's snow, and then the streets are gray from the salt that's in the streets. Like to me, it's not welcoming. It's not joyful. You know, cliche speaking. Happiness is sunshine and rainbows to me. when I think of when I think of being happy, when I think of joy, I think of sunshine. I think of green grass. I think of trees full of green leaves. And when I think about depression, when I think about grief, I think about gloomy skies, gray skies. I think about no leaves on the trees, trees bare. I think about cold wind wisping through the atmosphere. I think of snow. I think of rain. I think of darkness. I don't think of light when I think of grief, when I think of sunshine, when I think of happiness, excuse me. These elements make me think about grief even more. And not only that, two of the most heartfelt, two of the most family oriented holidays are centered around this time of year. Now, I don't know what kind of coincidence is that the most joyful times of year are centered around when the earth is at its darkest. I don't know if that's like some sort of psychological mechanism to make us feel better about things, but not everybody is able to put that cape on and become Superman around this time of year. Some people, it actually sends them down a spiral. You're overeating, you're drinking, you're smoking, you're not taking care of yourself, you're sleeping a lot, you're lethargic, don't want to do anything. You can say it's because of the cold weather. I mean, I get it. I'm definitely a warm weather person myself. Um, my goal is to leave Ohio, so I can be somewhere where I'm surrounded by beaches, where I'm surrounded by warm weather on a daily basis, monthly basis, not just a seasonal thing. So, you know, circling back to the expectations of things, you know, you're going to have people in your life that's going to be putting on functions around you, and they're going to be setting things up and, decorating the house and, you know, generally cheerful around Christmas. I happen to be with a woman, my wife, who's very, very adamant about the joy of Christmas, the celebration of Christmas, and what that brings. Our Christmas tree is up typically November 1st, right after Halloween. So I'm definitely thankful to have a partner like that who instills joy in our house and looks forward to bringing great energy in it and filling it with good energy and happiness on a daily basis. Her joy for Christmas has helped me out tremendously. I love my aunt to death, but we used to never have like Christmas decorations around the house. We didn't have a Christmas tree up. At least not all the time. We did have a tree, but it wasn't up like every year. I remember the first apartment that I did have. I went and got a real Christmas tree, and I left my Christmas tree up from December until Easter. That's how bad. That's how much I liked having a Christmas tree up. It was a beast getting that thing out to the trash can, and my arms and legs paid for it. But nothing could replace that joy that having that tree up brought me. So if you're thinking about a loved one that is gone, that is not here, that you can't celebrate Christmas with, that you can't celebrate bringing a New Year with, try to find something within your house that you can do, whether it's an ornament that you can create for that loved one and hang it on the top of your tree, or whether it's a drawing or a gift, or even if they're not here to receive it, that could just be, you could still buy something for them, buy something for their remembrance. You know, my brother's not here to spend time with me, but I do remember what he liked to drink. So I will get some of that to drink, to toast with him for New Year's Day, to toast with him for Christmas. You know, it's it can really, it can really hurt not to have that time with family. I genuinely know how that feels. I see all the family photos and people taking pictures in pajamas and things of that nature. Like those are things that I would have liked to have with my intermediate family. But that was broken up. But I am thankful because I can still create memories with my own family that I've created. So my kids can be in a picture with me and my wife, and we can celebrate. And when they grow up, they can flip back through pictures and look and see like, wow, that's like I remember this. This was Christmas 2025. Luca was 4 years old. Sonora was 11 years old. Ziana was 16 years old. So I want to still be present for my family because they don't understand what it takes to go through the things that I went through so that they don't have to deal with that. I'm if I have to take the brunt of the pain in order for them not to ever have to deal with anything like that, I'll do it 100 times over. So still showing up even when my mind may be somewhere else is something that I'm going to do over and over again because they deserve the best from me. They deserve to see me at my happiest self. So I have to do the work within myself in order to be my best self. So, gonna cut to a video here. So it's a guy. His name is Dr. Henry Cloud, and he's gonna speak a little bit about uh, dealing with grief during the holidays.
And yesterday I was driving down the road and I was thinking about her. I was praying for her. And I thought I'm going to call her. I didn't get to her. I got her voicemail. And I said, I'm thinking about you. Just wanted you to know that I know the holidays, and especially the first one, can be really, really hard. And I hope you find some good times in here as well. But I just want you to know I know it's going to be hard. And I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. And I started to tell her, holidays trigger all of that. I said, I remember the first holiday after my parents died. My parents died within weeks of each other. And the first holiday, I went through that, and it was tough. And actually, I'm feeling it now, but I barely made it through the voicemail, and it's been 9 years now. The holidays themselves are triggers, and sometimes if it's recent or you're in that time now, that's a trigger as well. So if you're in that time, like I said, you got to find some connection and support. But I just want you to validate it. It's just a real thing. It's a real thing. So just realize that and make sure that you're surrounded with the people that can help that. And then again, immunizing yourselves against very destructive situations. Sometimes in extended family, I've known people that the person that sexually abused them as a child is going to be at that family gathering. And they're not really at a place where they can be around that person. Sometimes you might have to, I hope you don't, but you might have to. There's just some situations you can't go to. I've seen people going through horrible conflicts in extended situations, and for a season at least, Ecclesiastes says there's a time to embrace and a time to shun from embracing. You might have to protect yourself, some of you, in some of the more extreme cases. Don't feel bad about that. I've seen people when I was treating them in therapy, and I would just pray, I hope they don't fly across the country and feel the guilt if they have to go this year because they're going to be in that situation and it's going to take 3 months to come out of a black hole. I've seen that. Don't feel bad about that. If you need those kinds of boundaries, then that's okay, and find somebody to support that. But most of all, I want you to know holidays aren't all good for everybody. They call us to be good. I feel like we're supposed to be happy. Every sign says happy holidays. But if you're in that gap this year, I want you to know we understand it. There's a lot of stuff here in the Boundaries.me platform about how to help with all those feelings and working through that and protecting yourself. But at this holiday season especially, I just want you to know that's normal, it's okay, and there are some things you can do, but it's real. We hope that even as sad as it is right now, that it's as good as it can be, and that you find the things that make it better. Hopefully, we can add to that, but we are thinking about you. Hope you have the best possible bad holiday season that you can have.
Yeah, so yeah, all right. So just to kind of piggyback off what he was saying, it was kind of already reiterating what I was already saying. Really, it's okay to not be okay around this time of year. It's okay to miss a loved one, and you don't have to feel bad about it. You know, he kind of spoke on some other things that I don't have any experience in, but there's something that we're all dealing with, around this time of year, and having to be places where you have to show up for someone, um, where you have to realize there's going to be that empty seat there. At the Uno table, my family's not here. That I can't wait to hit with a draw four, or I can't wait to bust down a game of spades with. Even though I got to work on my spades, I ain't played spades in a minute, but I can't play a game of tonk with my brother. Like, you know, I can't shoot no craps. Like, it's just, I can't get on the game and play my brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, I'm like 21 skunk. Like, it's things like that where, when these holiday functions are taking place, it's that's something that I miss. That's something that I think about when I'm at the table with my now current family. And I'm always thinking, like, what would life be like if said person was here? I would love for my mother and my mother in law to have a relationship, to see how they would get along with one another. I would love for my brother to meet my wife and my kids and my mother in law, because I'm sure that he would love them just as much as I do. He would cherish them as much as I do, because they protect me, and they're here for me, and they love on me, and they appreciate me. And I know that the way that they show up for me, they were short for my family the same way. So to be able to have that connection, that bridge between families, oh my goodness, man. I can only imagine how close my mother-in-law and my mother would be if my mother was alive here today. So I miss that I think about that dynamic. Like, dang, I wish I could just see how that could feel for just one time. Just want to see them just having a cocktail or just kind of just chilling out on the sofa while we playing cards or something. And the kids is running around. Like, I just want to see them interact with each other one time. Like, I just want to see how that feels just once. See that how that feels for my brother to laugh and joke with my wife, and she can see how good of a person he is, how passionate he is, and he can see how caring she is and how much she cares for me and the kids, and how much of a dope person that she is. Those are things that I miss. Like, I'm like, man, like they just not here, like, to enjoy that during these times, man. So, I have my moments where I blank out, like, and it's for brief moments, and I don't get up super upset like I gotta go in the other room and cry it out or anything like that, or I gotta take a walk. Like, I genuinely think about it in the aspect of, those are just things that I'm never gonna be able to experience in this life. I'm never gonna be able to experience my mother-in-law and my brother and my sister, excuse me, my brother and my mother in the same space with each other. Like, I would love for my brother to meet my grandmother. She's 97. Like, these are now my family. Like, I would love for my family to meet them. But that's something that we have to keep pushing for. That's something that we have to continue to push through, and love thy family that is here. So, um definitely thankful, definitely thankful for that. But those empty seats are something that I think about a lot. I would love for my father, who was, shout out to him, birthday was just on December 1st, for him to meet my mother-in-law, so she could see how charming of a guy my father was. So, and my son having the same birthday as my dad, like I want to be able to celebrate them together. Like, if I could have my dad's birthday celebrate with my dad and my son at the same time, like, man, I wish I could enjoy that. I wish I could just have that joy one time. Like, oh man, it's my daddy and my son's birthday, man. We celebrate. We going out to eat. Just simple things, man. Just the simple things, man. Like, and I have to somehow push through that because it's something that I'm never gonna have. It's something that I'm never gonna have, man. And that for me is heartbreaking because my son shares a birthday with somebody he's connected to that he doesn't know. With the way that God works and the way that my father is, I'm 100% certain that my son is here. He's in my son. He's in my son some kind of way. He came back for me. That's what I truly believe. No, one more thing I want to touch on before we get out of here is just find a light in this darkness. This camera here, this show here has been a way for me to find light throughout all of this. And typically when I'm super upset and super down, just eating the wrong kind of foods, like, all that. I told you, if you ever see me depressed or something, I'll eat ice cream and cookies or ice cream and cake or something like that. though I have indulged in some of it, it is a holiday. So I'm going to indulge in the little sweets here. It's just necessary, but it's not something that I'm craving. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I just wanted to enjoy for a moment. And I'll have like my little cookie with my little scoop of ice cream. Nothing too crazy. But it's about finding light in the darkness right now. And if you finding yourself in a space where it's cold outside, you keep thinking about your loved one and you wondering like how life will be with them here and why they not here and why did God put this on me? And I've been there. I've had every emotion, every thought that comes with grief. Everyone, anyone you can think of, I've had it. So don't feel bad about what this time of year brings. Try to find something that inspires you, find something that enlightens you, find something that brings you strength and joy in this time. These days are shorter and the nights are longer because the world is meant to be, it's meant for you to be still. There's work, it's meant for the world to be still right now. So you can grind and you can put that work in for everything that God has intended for you to have and everything that God has intended for you to be. So that's because that's what I had to do. I had to learn how to find light in the darkness. My first bout of real grief was when my brother got killed, man. And it was so dark that every year after, when it started getting dark early, that's the first thing I thought about. And after that happened, I spiraled out of control, man. I was lost. I was a lost soul, man. A piece of me had died with my brother. But now that piece is reincarnated. I'm able to find light within all this darkness that I've suffered. Here I am giving my heart and my soul to you because I don't want you to go through the darkness alone. I got a flashlight. I got a match. I got a lantern. I got light. And we gonna see ourselves through this darkness. So I want to thank you all for showing up today. Again, give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourselves a hand, man. This has been great speaking with you all this evening. Again, I want to thank you all for coming to Bob's Corner. This is episode 8, When Darkness Hits. And I want to thank you all for showing up. I love you all, and I'm praying for you all. I'm here with you all. Remember, you are not alone. See you guys for episode 9. Have a good night.